goes the speed of light all the way.
There's the speed of light.
I don't feel that's true.
Or if it goes instantly there and then half the speed on the way back. But I think if we looked at the physics of black holes and we did like a 3,000-year experiment, if we did an experiment of knowledge of what light was entering a black hole 3,120 years ago, we could possibly measure the one-way speed of light.
I thought they already did that with high-speed cameras and lasers. I think Mythbusters even did at one time, calculate the speed of light.
Gentlemen, separate question. How many of you own like a $2,000 telescope? Because I do, and I love it.
I don't.
I love it. It's so much fun.
I'll show you my telescope.
Saturn with my own eyes. I enjoy it so much. Anybody else, or just me?
I'll show you my telescope. It's definitely not a $2,000 telescope.
I don't know. I got a deal on it. It was a Black Friday thing. But
if I show my telescope, I get.
I'll show you my telescope, sir.
If I show my telescope, I get banned from TikTok for major content.
I'll tell you, it's a good time. I recommend buying they're on sale a lot. They're often on sale. It's you can get a decent telescope. It's a nice thing to have just around a bonfire or what have you. But it's just me speaking.
I love that.
I forgot the plot. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yo, so
a good telescope just out there with like a nice cigar, just watching the stars. Excellent.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So,
but what do you think of Google Space? That you can go through all space with
I'd
Google?
rather see it with my own eyes. I'll see it with my own eyes. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. The guy Google it and it looks like that. I'm gonna go ahead and look at it myself. I'll see what it looks like.
You can feel the liveness of it,
Yeah, but they had like Google Street View. They have also in the Space Edition, and you can go through all the galaxy, watching every star and stuff.
Oh yeah. I 100%. But yeah, I went to school upstate New York, and they had a beautiful goddamn. What the hell is it called? What is that thing you have where it's a telescope and God, I can't believe I can't think of this word right now. Where it's like it's a $200 million fucking telescope. See, it's what is a telescope that's really expensive looking at the stars in the middle of nowhere? What's that called?
A radio telescope?
No, not a radio telescope, a normal telescope.
Infrared.
God damn it. Damn it. Sorry, I ate too many edibles.
Radio waves. They do it with radio waves and infrared.
Here's the thing, though. Have you ever thought about donning an eye patch so that you can maintain your night vision for telescope?
I'm not a sniper, but I understand what you're saying. Snipers do that.
No, pirates used to do it.
I love that. Hey, Gambit, welcome. How are you? We should do telescope lives. I agree, Gambit.
Awesome. That'd be fucking awesome. You guys gonna do
join. You would join. For sure, I can tell.
Observatory? Observatory is right. Nah, that's not the right word. God damn it.
Captain Charlie, welcome. Hey, Gambit.
Yes. What is your sense of me?
I'm almost at my lunch break.
In this time that you've heard
welcome, and then it's coffee time. Oh, about you.
Yes.
Well, I think you are very willing to expose yourself.
It's kind of an impressive thing. Takes some work to do.
So series like Sirius A?
And Sirius, between Mars and Jupiter, there's a large asteroid named Sirius. I've seen it.
Shit.
It takes some work to do. It takes some work to do.
With your $2,000 telescope. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's a lot of math, unfortunately. But I like stars.
So Gambit, what are your thoughts that we have this black hole that's 1,560 light years away from Earth? That I was proposing that the light that was coming, that was present heading into it 3,000 years ago at this angle, could show up on this side and come back at us for another 1,560 years. So if we get like really crafty, we could see like the past, like 3,120 years ago, if we observed
Is this
just
the center of
the
the
edge.
galaxy, or is this a different black hole?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
The center of the galaxy apparently is a black hole, which makes us all
yes,
orbit
yes,
around it.
yes.
The Milky Way. It's
If I can figure out TikTok. There we go. Hey, the healing. How are you, healing?
like that's one of the I don't even like Star Trek 4, but
I
it's
know
pretty
how
fun
healing
to
happens.
watch.
Even though
Where they actually went to the center of
Nonsense.
the galaxy. What does God need a spaceship for? That's that. You guys have all seen Star Trek 4, but whatever.
Star Trek 4. What one's that?
You haven't seen
like
Star
the
Trek
movie.
4, man? Come
You
on.
mean
We've
the
all
movie?
seen all the Star Trek movies. Come on. If you like space, you like Star Trek. It's actually based in science. Star Wars isn't. So Star Wars is wizards in space. Star Trek is science in space. So you have to like Star Trek more than Star Wars. I hate to be the one to break it to you. You might as well be into it.
Right on.
That was a pretty bold claim right there.
Hey,
I know.
we got
If you want
this
to
guy.
discuss this,
I just
I'll
sent an
discuss it.
invitation.
But the way they distort space, the actual way that the Bassard collectors take all the space, the math and the science of Star Trek is so much more fascinating than Star Wars. Like, bam, we go to light speed. Do you? It's like,
Hey, if you're just joining now, we do have a live goal of 777,000
people
video
like,
in
wow,
Lions.
Star Trek nonsense, Star Trek nonsense.
And remember to like and share the live.
Except Star Trek nonsense is actually science.
Yeah.
The Bassard collectors.
If we get over 10,000 likes, it gets on the For You page, and then
I fine. I'm going off on a tangent. You're right. I'm sorry, but Star Trek does it better. I'm just saying.
Or I mean, snowball. We can snowball that steamroll.
What? There was just a lot that went on in like that last little.
It
blipper.
sounds like nonsense when you watch a Star Trek episode, except they actually use scientific terms with their jargon. It's kind of fascinating. It's funny, but it's still nonsense. I get where you're coming from, but it's more closer to like, well, bam, if I built the Starship Enterprise, this is what I have to do. It would have to be inertial dampeners, because otherwise, goddamn it, going to light speeds, I'd be blasted against the wall. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So it's one of those things where it's actually pretty well written science fiction.
How science fiction becomes science fact.
Yes, exactly.
Very frequently. Yeah.
Have you guys
I love the
caught
story.
the Orville?
It's hilarious. Wasn't my favorite, but it has some hilarious.
It's
back and
cute.
forth.
It's not as funny as it thinks it is. Let's be honest.
That's
it's
that
not.
was my impression.
Star Trek is funnier than the Orville is. Like, I'd rather watch Worf.
Come on, that's
Be an
like comparing.
asshole.
That's like comparing
Worf is
Tupac to
funnier than
Biggie
everyone
to
on
Snoop
the
Dogg.
Orville. Data is funnier than everyone on the Orville. It's enough. The Next Generation is better written than the entire series of the Orville. Though I am glad that the Orville exists, so episodic science fiction is still a thing. Thank you, Seth MacFarlane. So episodic science fiction is a thing again. That's nice. I appreciate that. But it's not as well. you're just ripping off Star Trek episodes, and everyone who watches that knows, like, oh, yeah, you stole that from season 3, episode 8 of Star Trek: Next Generation.
I had
Not
a
one
dream
fucking thing in your
literally
entire
just
series is
last night
original.
there.
It's all garbage. Yeah, all right. Tell me I'm wrong.
All right. So this dream that I had, I was fixing a septic leak in space. You know, like I was in like a
that
starship kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was fixing a septic leak in space. I was hanging out with Elon Musk in my dream, and somebody that looked like him might have been one of his sons.
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk does have a trans child, so
This is an 18+ life, and
Adults talking about adult things. That can't be happening. The internet can't have adults talking about adult things. This is insane.
yeah. So like you're welcome to stop by. You know, if my live is 18 and under, but I wanna vape on camera, and
How dare you vape on camera? Do you understand?
yeah. Didn't I get a big lecture about?
yeah, like I've
But
read
anyway,
the
sir,
TikTok
so
guidelines,
continue your
and
story.
I know them to
Tell
a
us.
legal standard, meaning all context and implications. So
Okay, well, I'm very intrigued that
What's
tonight's
good?
topic, Tim, is black holes. Is that what I'm?
yeah. It seems to be black holes.
So it says the closest known black hole to Earth is just 1,560 light years away. Just.
For the record, relatively wise, that's pretty fucking close. It's really kind of
Yeah.
close.
It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away, guys.
We have an amateur astronomer up here, a citizen astronomer,
Who? Politically homeless.
politically homeless. Yeah,
I actually do own a telescope. I recommend buying a telescope. They're insanely cheap. They're going to be on Black Friday right now. Go ahead and buy yourself a nice telescope. Go ahead and have fun with it.
Now,
Just
the
have fun
question,
with it. Just
the
go and
question
buy a
I would
nice
have to
telescope
ask
and
to
enjoy
all
yourself.
these telescope
Enjoy yourself.
owners is the direction in which your telescope is
Tell me I'm
pointed.
wrong.
Is
Come
it up
on,
in the
man.
sky,
You
or
guys
is
love
it across
astronomy?
your neighbor's
Love
window?
astronomy? Come on. Get yourself a nice telescope. Such a good thing next to a bonfire. Such a good thing.
That's good. I just don't
But maybe I'm insane. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
no, I'm the only one that's insane here. Look at me, I'm wearing a fucking eye patch
So,
just
like,
because I feel like it.
you actually have 2 working eyes and you wear that eye patch?
Yeah. Like I'm dating the probability space that I could have been born female.
You know, like saving your other eye for like a sniper shot
Yeah. I'm
or
dating
some
my other eye. If I could lick my eyeball, I would.
shit. God damn, man. Take that eye patch off and go out and look at the world as it is. What are you out of your fucking mind?
No, I am.
You don't like
I'm
depth
completely out of my
perception?
fucking
Why
mind.
do you hate depth perception?
I don't need binocular vision to see a 2D screen, nor do I need stereo hearing to hear the one speaker
Every
that comes out of the
living
bottom of my
thing
phone.
with 2 eyes needs 2 eyes to see depth perception. So it's not something you're overcoming. It's more of a fuck God type thing you're doing. I can see
No,
better
this
with
is how
one
I
eye.
get to this is
Yeah,
how
no,
I
you
get to
can't.
know
You can
God
actually
is because
see.
I see God as nothingness, right? So right now, when this eye is experiencing complete nothingness, right? That's God being close to me.
Not wrong. I always loved it, though, that science always needed the greatest miracle that religion would never, ever even claim. It's like, yeah, bam, out of nothing. Everything came from nothing. Wow.
Yeah,
that's a
the
big
free
ask.
energy principle.
That's a big ask. Yeah, bam, every single molecule in the universe. And you can't even imagine how big the universe is. From the size of a pinhead. Bam, that's where it came from. That seems really improbable. Bam, that's what happened. Shit. It's a big ask.
I
God
love
damn.
improbability.
It's like, and I'm not honestly, I'm on the side of science, but it's still a big ask. It really is.
What's the big
most
ass?
insane shit you ever heard in your
Yo,
entire
blind
fucking
woodcarver.
life? Yeah,
Are you
that's where we
actually-
start from. Okie dokie.
Dude, that's awesome. I love that. I've seen on a Canadian show oh geez, I forget what channel it is, but on our Canadian channels there was a blind woodworker there. So thanks for stopping through.
Well, for the record, though, I do believe that I hate to be the one to break it to everyone. Who's that guy that had Lou Gehrig's disease and that everyone thought was a scientist?
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, he's a fraud.
A fraud in what way?
It's insane that someone with ALS could actually write the books he's claiming to have written. It's insane. You have to be a fucking moron to think that someone with ALS was capable of writing the most complex mathematical equations that humanity has ever read. And I need you to get that through your head. That's one of those things where
What way do you
it's
think he's a fraud?
offensive to anyone with common sense that, no, he was writing those books. No, he wasn't.
Well, I believe
So-
I got common
so then-
sense, and I
Politically correct.
I
I'm just
believe-
gonna put you on a
He
timeout
couldn't
here.
move his own fucking fingers.
Just putting you
I
on a
believe,
timeout.
I got
You were
common sense,
dominating.
but-
You were dominating the conversation there, steamrolling. Just letting you know. Anyways, so what are you saying? What's up?
I wanted to say I believe I got common sense, and I still believe he could do it. You know that you have no body capacity doesn't mean that you don't have the mental capacity to do things. That guy was brilliant.
Did you guys
Yeah,
not
so-
watch
so-
the movie about like Stephen Hawking? I mean, I thought that movie pretty much like
No, I haven't. How
with-
was it?
I mean it. It was the side of Stephen Hawking I never knew. It was like with the dude who played God, what is that like side story from Harry Potter? Mysterious creatures and like whatever Fantastic Beasts.
Oh,
Eddie
Fantastic Beasts. Where to find
Eddie
them.
Redline or whatever. Whoever plays that main character plays Stephen Hawking. And like Stephen Hawking's story, like he was brilliant. He was fully like functioning until like the last tail of like his life,
Eddie
like
Redmayne. Thank you, Gambit. I appreciate it.
yeah, Redman.
Well,
yeah.
I just think that his ALS was in his benefit because he didn't have
Yes.
the distraction of normal life, so he had all the time to make his mind work and think about the complex things of life.
Yes, and in addition to that, ALS degrades the myelin sheath, and that's why that there is a loss of control. And gradually over time, as the myelin sheaths in the nerves become demyelinated, and then so he would have had a lot of cross-firing in his brain there that most neurotypical people would not have had, and that's likely where some of the observations came from. Hey, thank you for sharing the live. I really appreciate it. Not right. Yeah, so I don't believe that Stephen Hawking was a fraud, but I understand your freedom to make that claim, politically homeless. Thank you again for sharing the live. I really appreciate it.
Well, I mean,
I think to push away somebody as a fraud because he accomplished more than you did is a kind of weak statement.
Hey, Lee, you're welcome.
well, I mean, it's
Thank you so much, Nar.
just to, like you said,
An
yeah.
entrepreneur. In what way? In what capacity are you an entrepreneur? I really appreciate what business ideas and that, like, so yeah, imagine having a business idea where we fundraise to look at the past 3,000 years ago and make predictions about the past and see if we can view the past from the edge of a black hole.
Ooh, what if I told you, Tim, that that's exactly what I'm doing? That's what my life work is about.
Thank you so much, Nudnar. Peace.
Well, I can make so many bad space jokes, but I try to not do it.
Hey, Books, welcome. Oh, Zamora. Oh, shit. Yo, Zamora, you're badass. I love you.
The closest known black hole to
I was
Earth is
wondering
just
why you were a
15.
moderator. I was like, yo, is this like a TikTok moderator? Like, holy crap. Thank you so much for sharing the live. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and if we get up over 10K, then it definitely shows up on the For You page. It's
Goals.
all up there. Yeah. Oh man,
I
see,
tapped the
told-
first
told you.
1,000, and then Gambit do the second 1,000, and then Chaplin the third 1,000, and we come a long way.
Oh, right on 5K. All right, yeah, let's get it up to 5K likes there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys tapping. Tap, tap, tap. And like it's sorry for kicking you out there, politically homeless there. It's just you were kind of steamrolling the conversation. It seems like the edibles had taken effect, and my account's already been, you know, unrighteously banned a couple times, you know, so showing signs of intoxication, I didn't want that to be any reason to limit my page, because I believe that the conversations that we all are having really matter. And not that I believe it, I feel it, that we can really push understanding and communication to like a whole new level, a whole nother level, you know.
Over the edge of the black hole.
Yes, yeah, and get some back in return as it comes back this way. Yeah, like imagine the one-way speed of light. You know, imagine a thing to measure the one-way speed of light. You know, having light coming that way and then coming around back at this. You know, that'd be a cool experiment. It might take 3,000 years, but
Do you know why illumination is always the fastest? The fastest.
why is illumination always the fastest?
He is a lightweight.
He's a lightweight. I love that.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I tried. Oh yeah, so we do have a live goal of 777,000 Leo and Lion. There, if you have a couple 100,000 Leo and Lions to drop, it'd be much appreciated.
Yeah, $450 for one lion. Be my guest.
Why not?
But it really been given sometimes, lions and stuff, that they think like whoever throws $400 to someone, you know. It's so much money.
Yeah, and half of it goes to TikTok. It's quite a thing. It's like I was watching what is it? The John Oliver Experience, and they're saying that you know, thanking TikTok, you know, is like thanking the money jar for a fundraiser. You know, it's like, oh, thank you, money jar, you've done such a great job. You know. Yeah. Oh, somebody else came up with this idea for like a digital swear jar, where you pay into this digital swear jar, and then it would like help buy presents for children who couldn't afford them. You know, where the parents couldn't afford the.
That's actually a pretty good idea. If nobody's ever come up with like that app or something like that, that's like one of those like
Yeah.
niche apps.
I don't think
How are you?
I don't think the jar will be big enough to contain all the swear money.
I love it.
Hey, it's all Bitcoin at this point,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, it's a digital swear jar, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but even a computer has have an infinite amount of numbers, and I think the swearing on internet is infinite. So to fill something, zeg maar, finite with something infinite, it's technically impossible.
So in my dream there, after I had finished the initial portion
With Elon Musk?
saving this, saving this septic potential problem from the capsule from expanding outwards there, that I hopped in a shower in a capsule within the capsule, like in within that area where Elon Musk had gifted me like a capsule with like this is a dream, this is a story that I'm imagining and telling, but it's also from a dream, right? So this had like a shower in it and just like a place to sleep, and he gifted me this capsule. I'm like, oh sweet, thank you, you know. And he had also gifted me like this rod, you know, like this like a stick, like a staff, you know, and that I had intuited because I had entered like a hive mind and became, you know, in the engineer to just think, like to piece my mind, you know, to still my mind, because I had exhaled a breath into a balloon just so that I would have fresh air, because like there was toxic waste air filling up the cabin that I had sealed myself in so that I could solve the problem. So I hive-minded out of that and into one of the one of the engineers, and I thought like, hey, I don't know if it was one of the engineers, but like I hive-minded out into literally anybody that was on the outside of the thing, just so I could get like recenter myself and get a hold of my peace. And then once I had a hold of my peace, like I trusted that the person that had hive-minded into my body was doing, you know, reasonable things. And that that I was like, oh, we got to evacuate the waste, you know, into space, even though that was going to be our burgers for tonight, you know, because like in space you reuse like everything, right? So I was like, well, you know, so I was like, okay, like evacuate the waste, just so that the pressure in the system, you know, can be shut off somewhere else, and that we can fix the issue. And my thought was, yeah, there goes the burgers for tonight. I was like, so much for burgers tonight. Exactly. And then I hive-minded back into myself, you know. So when I hopped in the shower, I thanked Elon Musk for the shower. I was like, hey, thanks for the shower. Yeah. and then I hive-minded back into myself, and then I used that rod to like pry open the door that had emergency shut, you know, because I had locked myself into that pod there as like an emergency measure. And so now the door was busted, and I used the rod for like leverage to open the door where I didn't want to use all my oxygen, because I knew that I was going to be using my oxygen soon. You know, as soon as I went out into that like fume-filled area, that I was going to need all my oxygen. And I had a respirator, you know, with emergency oxygen like this. And I inhaled the emergency oxygen. It wasn't pure oxygen. It had like nitrogen and all that.
Now you start talking about burgers. You remind me of South Park with ass burgers. Did you know that episode?
Well, let's
that
not.
episode was
No,
on this morning,
no,
like
no, we're not
literally
bringing
this
that up.
morning.
Hey, no, we're not bringing that up because TikTok's
No, no, yeah.
algorithm has a thing against the
Disabilities.
X. No. It was the X uh, uh, foe to the World War in World War II. You know, we're not going to say them either. Anyway.
What? Nah.
Exactly. I know it's
So back to your dream, Kim, because that's
so here we go. So that I was holding my breath, I exited and started solving the issue.
which is the septic issue.
Which is
like
the
what
septic
to do
that,
with all this
now
waste.
has
Okay.
less pressure on it there, and I was able to go and turn the valve there that was broken, but because the suit that I had, the jumpsuit that I was using to capture the waste at first in like a recycling type bin there, I had took the thing off and put it on the thing to capture the gas that was coming out and tied it around the thing, and then then when the pressure was relieved there, it kind of sucked the suit into the tank, you know, but the suit also provided like an extra seal, you know, so that I could turn the broken lever, you know, turn the broken wheel, you know, turn the broken faucet, and it would have it would now be more sealed because it had the suit that was sucked into it from the back pressure. And then I exhaled, and then I went without oxygen for a bit, and then I thought about nothingness and everythingness and annihilation, like particle pairs popping into existence and annihilating, you know, and popping out of existence. So I thought we have to vacuum the air. We have to get all this flammable air out of this cabin quick, right? So so now that the chamber was sort of depressurized there,
where's Elon Musk in all of this right now? He's just like,
I don't know. Like I forgot about that. I forgot about Elon Musk and his son at that time.
They're just like watching Tim, like, man, he's
watching
filling
me
up his.
solve this crisis by myself.
Okay.
They're probably like sitting back, being like,
I'm just making sure I'm following
"That was
you.
a brilliant
in this,
move,
in this
dude."
dream
He took
state.
off his clothes. Like I took off my jumpsuit and I became naked. For a dual purpose: one, to capture the waste in this like container, in this like recycling container, and to cover it on top
With the clothes
And
that you
then-
just took off?
with the jumpsuit that I just took off. And
Okay.
the second purpose was that any humans witnessing this would be like, this person is in distress and they're naked, right? So let's see what's going on. Let's help them.
Okay. So this is what Elon and his child.
Yeah,
Should
so
be probably
originally I
thinking,
grabbed
right?
a smaller container to capture the waste that was coming out, and it wasn't big enough. And that's that's the last time I saw Elon Musk and his son, was when I handed them the smaller container. I like shoved it towards them, and it went towards them, and then I went to go grab the bigger container, and at the same time, like I grabbed the bigger container, but there was bolts that were in the bigger container. So what I did was I stripped down and I took my suit off, and then I used my underwear to wrap the bolts up so the bolts wouldn't be floating around and like a hazard to anybody that was coming to assist. So now
Naturally.
I'm naked solving this crisis. You know, and then I
Are you solving a crisis, or are you like creating more little crises?
I was solving this, but no, I was solving a potential crisis.
I see.
So
I see.
then I bring the bin back, and then as soon as I bring the bin, I gave them the suit and the bin. That's the last time I saw them, was when I gave them the suit and the bin.
But not the underwear.
So No, because the underwear was wrapped around the bolts, you know,
Right.
with the elastic there.
Right.
to-
Why give
to
those
hold
to
bolts
why
together.
give those to the Elon?
Well, because they're holding the bolts there, so that the bolts aren't floating around.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So then I go back into the main area, like into that, like the hallway area that's not the potential problem area, and I find the first person that I see, and I like grab them while I'm naked, and I'm like, find an engineer. You know, like we have like a sewage leak. You know, like we have an issue. Find an engineer. You
Or
know, and then I went
a
back
space
into
plumber.
the thing. Yeah, and then I shut the door. You know, and like, so that's the last time I saw Elon Musk's son was then. So I assumed that they exited after they had put the cover on the thing, that they had exited that area, and that I shut myself in the place to deal with the problem myself. And
Is this like a reoccurring dream, or is this like just
No,
this
no,
random
this
dream
just
that
happened
happened?
once.
Right. Okay.
yeah,
Recently.
this just happened a few hours before I came to tell you.
Okay.
That's
I
that's
just
the only reason why I'm here, is just to share that dream. And the
Dutch
hive mind.
Tim. I'm just trying to pick up where we left off last time. Gambit's new here, so that's a crazy
Yeah,
dream.
if you want to, if thank you, Gambit. Yeah, so I knew the psychology of people there, that when they saw somebody naked in distress, that they'd be like, "What's going on here?" You know, and then I got like subjectively, it felt like the universe was like celebrating me for doing that, and they're like, "Yo, brilliant move, because you don't need your clothes to solve that issue, and that jumpsuit really fucking helped." You know? and so did the underwear on the bolts thing.
Right.
And, like,
I mean that's
and
good
you know-
improvisation.
and you know
right
that there's a shower right there. So and I already exhaled the breath into the balloon, right? So I had like semi fresh
Right.
oxygen. Yeah, I had semi fresh oxygen available. Thank
Well,
you
I
for
mean-
getting me over 5K likes there. We might be on the For You page now. If
I wanted
somebody-
to
You-
say,
you do
like,
know
we
that
reached-
this is like
we
an
reached the
actual, like-
5K. We
This
reached
is like
it,
an
so-
actual like real life problem that NASA posted like in an article saying if anybody
way.
can figure out a logistical, realistic way of like disposing all of our human like trash out in space, they'll give them $1 million. Like, yeah,
Well,
is
I
that
might have
nothing to
just
do
won
with this?
$1 million for the for troubleshooting.
Well, I think you're
Somebody
still
else.
like
I might have just won like $250,000 for troubleshooting something that happened to the $1 million problems. There, we'll give you a quarter of the thing, you know.
But what
Right.
you
Just for
mentioned,
that funny shit.
some
What
some
you-
royalty.
what
just
you-
for that
what
funny
you-
shit.
but what you mentioned, I
And then
mentioned
and then
once
I give it
before.
all to everybody, just $20 at a time, just to figure out what is it that makes you happy. You know, what is it that you want from life, really? And once they tell me that, I would trade them $20 for that for their answer.
My answer
But
would
what
be
you
not to
meant-
be stuck in space with Elon Musk or his child dealing with the septic problem.
I
But
found
what
it
you-
blissful and freaking hilarious, but also very terrifying and stressful.
Yeah, I mean, I've had dreams like in that like emotional state, and I wake up and I'm just like, what a waste. Like, I feel like
Well,
I was
this time
doing
it
work
literally was
and I didn't get any rest. You know, it's just like I was even working in my dream. Like I just wanted to hang
Yeah,
out.
yeah, exactly. I've had a few dreams like that. The last dream I had before that, I was working on the computer, you know, and then I woke up and then I sat in this chair here, you know, and I pretended as if I was still dreaming.
Pretended, or did you actually cross existent planes?
I may have crossed the multiverse, which, reasonably speaking, is right here. The multiverse might literally be right where you are right now, because everythingness is expanding from nothingness into nothingness. So it reasons that everywhere is the center of the multiverse.
Everywhere
you
is the center of
mentioned,
the multiverse. Everywhere is
What you mentioned about storing
And then like a
space,
donut.
right?
Like a donut. It's expanding out.
like a drone.
But what you mentioned about storing space, there is a concept, and that is mostly on YouTube, and that is about the back rooms. And you can research it. It's a cool story. It's about, for example, scientists are looking for more space to store stuff, so they take on.
This is a competitor here. This person might work for a competing, space agency where I'm accidentally working for SpaceX in my dreams, accidentally on purpose. It's not the first time I've worked for SpaceX in my dreams. I also had a dream where I was on break at like a cross between Solar City and SpaceX, where I was just sleeping in like a lobby at the bottom of some escalators. And then what we were doing was we were using artificial intelligence to seek life in the universe. And now they're doing that. They're doing, like, years later, now they're doing that. So
On like a planetary
my
scale?
dreams literally like predict reality, and I'm fine with that. And
So
I'm
what
fine
do you-
being called crazy. Like, call me crazy, call me a narcissist. Like, I found out that a psychiatrist that I went to, like within the last few months, said that I have narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder. I'm like, perfect. Like, I'm the biggest asshole, but I'm God's kind of asshole.
So what was your
God's
response to that diagnosis?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
have
That's my response.
NPD and what? What was the other one? APD?
Yeah, exactly.
Antisocial
Yeah, and my
disorder?
response was
ASD?
like, perfect, because like I'm the biggest asshole in all of the multiverse, except I'm God's kind of an asshole, so it's all right.
I feel like I would have been
not
like a
God.
child. I know you are, but what am I?
I'm
Doc.
not God. And,
I am
and,
God.
and I'm not an ass. I'm just the asshole. Like, I'm just the hole.
I'm just
Yeah.
a hole, a black
I'm
hole or a
just
white
a
hole,
hole.
Tim. That's important.
Yeah. No. Just the whole. It has nothing to do with color. It's nothingness itself. I'm literally nothingness itself.
Really? But what if you are WHOLE?
Well, then
That couldn't
maybe
be
the
nothingness,
devil
right?
might have
Would that be
maybe the
nothing?
devil might have taken my invite back to nothingness. And by devil, I mean everything. The whole multiverse might have taken my invite back to nothingness.
Tim, do you believe in God? Does God exist?
Okay, so I believe in God, and God doesn't exist, and that's not a disparaging thing. In fact, it's a compliment. For even if we approach nothingness philosophically,
Wait, just slow
nothingness
down.
ends
Slow
up
your
becoming
roll.
something.
Slow your roll. Your simple answer was you believe in God, but you don't believe it exists. Believe God exists.
No, I
right?
believe in God. Like, I believe in God,
Okay.
and I know for a fact God doesn't exist, and that's
Okay.
what makes them God. It's not a disparaging thing.
That's what makes who God.
All right, take care, Gambit. All right, thank you so much. And as you dream, I believe that you are holding me up from falling through this seat. That you are the reason that I am not falling through this chair right now, because there's a lot of empty space in between the electron and the proton.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Gambit?
No, Gambit's saying that she can go be a hero and save the day in her dream. Yeah,
I hope so, too.
exactly. Yeah, so
I hope it's not with Elon
Yeah.
Musk, though. Everybody's dreaming about Elon Musk all of a sudden. I don't know why.
I like the Simpsons episode where Elon Musk is hanging out with Homer and like just coming up with all these like wildfire idea, like Spitfire ideas, just like one after another, based on how random Homer is.
Right. I mean,
It's awesome.
it's a numbers game.
Because well, it's like a language of nothingness and everythingness. And at the edge of everythingness is just pure random, right? Pure entropy, maximum entropy.
Okay, so this is like a spectrum. There's nothingness on one end, and there's everythingness, or could we call it like wholeness?
Yeah. So that there's absolute nothingness, and then there's a boundary, and then there's the beginning of everythingness.
Well, I got a theory for nothingness, and that is nothingness is something. Because if nothing was really nothing, we didn't have a word for it, and we didn't be able to point out nothing. But because we have a word for nothing, and we can point out nothing, makes automatically nothing something.
That's what I'm saying. So when somebody says that nothingness doesn't exist, they're correct. And nothingness not existing is what makes it God. So that's why I'm saying it's not a disparaging thing to not exist. Like to truly be nothingness, non-existent nothingness. In fact, it's a compliment.
I think I'm like picking up what you're putting down in the sense, because like this whole the word nothingness, it's like one of these words as a comic. It's like, I don't know if you would call it like a trigger word, but it's one of those words that's like really loaded with like lots of, as you would call, entropy, like this potential energy, depending on how you use this
Well,
word.
that's it. So the free energy principle states that we can borrow from this nothingness as long as we pay it back. And the more that we borrow, the quicker we have to pay it back.
Burrow or borrow?
Borrow. But I like your misinterpretation better than what I said, because misinterpretation, whether it's purposeful or accidental,
There are people I found that
is close to random. Like it invokes randomness.
like true misinterpretation or like an honest. I'm very like mindful of the words that I'm like hearing and like try to like use in my like everyday speech, especially here on TikTok, because I'm trying to like stand up for like something, and what that is just like somebody who like thinks about what the person is saying, instead of going off on like this crazy like Stephen Hawking is a fraud like accusation where I was just like,
yeah, I heard that, and I respected his right to make that claim, though it was just the domineering of the conversation that had me put him down into the comments there, and I didn't mean to put him down, emotionally. I meant to elevate him emotionally. Hey, Valerie, welcome. How are you?
But
Did
I
you
got
boot him
another
off,
thing
or-
about
It was because he was steamrolling the conversation and bringing up substance use, and the combination
oh yeah,
of
with yeah.
elated speech and the mention of substance use is what is well it
These are
makes
the buzzwords that the algorithm just like hears,
yeah, exactly,
and then just shuts you down. Is that really what happens on these like
it's like
live?
a loss from every angle,
That, well, I
yeah,
mean,
it's like a loss from every angle.
this is why I felt like being told God is always watching and always listening is like a good preemptive like lesson for me to like live in this digital world.
But I got
that we have.
another fun concept about nothing. Like what I mentioned once before. It's like that YouTube series, The Backrooms, and it goes like scientists take an energy projector, and they concentrate from three angles energy on a certain point on a ball, and that ball disappears. And it happens again and again with enough energy. And then they focus that same energy on a portal, and after two fails, it works. And the portal makes a room, makes a portal into the back rooms. And the back rooms is in this theory another dimension. And the back rooms is an endless hallway that is extending into nothingness. It was not
And
there.
what movie is this again?
Well,
Or is it a TV show?
it is een VS8 serie, The Backrooms, and it's on YouTube. And it's really became a thing.
From VHS, like from video cassette.
Yeah, well, it is a concept that it is VSA taped, and what I say, they try to make it like look like a reality thing, but it is a made-up
like the
concept.
Blair Witch Project almost.
Yes, kind of. And it's called The Backrooms, and it has become so huge that you almost believe it's something real. That scientists really create a portal into nothingness, into the backrooms.
Hey, Elise, welcome.
And you can glitch out of reality by like a video game and end up in those back rooms. So you can glitch out of reality into the back rooms. It's a whole awesome concept that they made up.
Have you guys heard of the
But it's
Jinn
stop-
particle?
Tell me about the gym
No.
particle.
This is like an actual scientific like theory term that I actually heard Neil deGrasse Tyson like explain. So the Jinn particle essentially is like creating something out of nothing that wouldn't have been there if it wasn't created before. So like he explained it as when you watch Back to the Future, right? And Marty McFly is on stage playing Johnny Be Good. And then backstage in the back room, you hear the guy calling Chuck Berry and saying, "Yo, Chuck, you looking for a new sound? Well, hear this," right? And then Neil deGrasse Tyson explains that's the Jinn moment, because now what that is implying is like without Marty McFly going back in time, Chuck Berry wouldn't have wrote Johnny Be Good. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So here's a thing right here. That's a story. This is a story that I've told where my comedy self, I do stand-up comedy.
I know that.
That my comedic self invited God for tea, and this President of the Universe character interrupt.
Say that one more time. So you invite him for tea and what? You kind of
And
like
the President of the Universe character interrupt.
President of the Universe came to interrupt. Who's the President of the Universe? Sam Rockwell from Hitchhiker's Guide to the
They
Galaxy.
said that they're me from the future. That they had to come back in time.
Oh yeah, you were talking about this last check. Okay. Yeah, so
because
you're
my
talking to your
connection with
future
God is so
self.
strong. Yeah, and they had their sex and their ethnicity shrouded, so I didn't know who they were. I didn't know what ethnicity or sex I would be in the future.
Did you get a sense that it was like you?
they had a human-like form, like 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, and they had an eye patch. They had like 1 eye. So I started wearing a fucking eye patch.
So this is what triggered this homage.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So I was contacted by my future self that told me to be
Start
walking around
wearing
like that.
an eye patch over your right eye. Have you ever worn it over the left eye and seen what happens?
And then I have an earplug in the opposite ear, so that I have some sense of balance.
That's good. I mean, that's like a weird approach to like muscle memory, I guess. Just like train myself. Just hey,
Nothingness. I create nothingness within my conscious perception.
right. And you never know when this might be necessary. When the world goes blind.
Yeah. Or like an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind, and the man with 1 eye rules, right? But also, if I have it on the opposite, that God sees all, but love is blind.
Okay. I see that. God sees all, but love is blind. But God is love. So God is blind?
In 1 eye, because God sees all.
with one eye. Still,
with one eye.
the all-seeing eye on the Illuminati pyramid, Tim.
Well, I might be Illuminati, just so you know. And
Hey,
because I'm a comedian
you and
and a
me both.
hypnotist and a magician, you shouldn't believe me when I tell you this,
Okay, is that a
right?
maybe? I don't know. I don't know what to believe. Am I hypnotized? This is one of those things where I would like listen to like motivational videos on YouTube, and like I would like just pass out, like just fall asleep, like, and then like I'd wake up
So you're saying just a
worrying.
hole? Like, what about a hole? Like HOLE, right? Was that you that said that?
That was me who said that.
Yeah. So look, this is written in the past.
Just the whole move your finger. God had
Yeah.
to have accepted the future me because it would be a long loop without his intervention. He couldn't have been given the presidential seat, a president of the universe, without coming back in time to meet me because he fell out of love with God and in love with his job or Job, unless he is a God and realizes it. Okay. But the most probable story is that God gave true freedom, and that includes going into the past to play an April Fool's Day joke on their self.
Right, I had
Or,
to call the police on April 1st this year,
Okay.
2024.
okay, or God truly intervened and gave his past self the seat of the president of the universe, another equally likely option. This is something you wrote?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. When like this is just like a recall just to like document when this happened.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, hey, this is science. This is science right here where these are like diary entries and stuff like that. Like I would like go on dates. I'd be like, "Oh, I can't wait to go and like write my diary about like tonight." And these girls are just like, "Are you serious?" And I'm just like,
I
"Oh,
thought about
crap."
going on dates with one of these, a
Canogram?
dodecanogram. Yeah, a
Dodecahedron?
dodecanogram. Yeah.
What is this? Like a skull
Yeah.
cap?
Yeah. It's like an electroencephalograph, right? So we already have a Bluetooth electroencephalograph called the Crown for $1,000. That kind of looks like it's stylish enough to look like
A crown?
head jewelry, and I would be like, hey, like I'm like a shaman, like I'm like a Norse shaman, but like a Canadian shaman, and this is just like just decoration, like they're like, oh, head jewelry. No, I get it. Like it's stylish enough to wear like on a Tinder date.
I mean, these are actually these are like things that like I incorporate, like my little trick to like weed out like the the freaking dating scene is like I will always bring a coupon for wherever like I'm taking like a girl that I'm like interested in like
That's
on a first date.
brilliant.
And then I'd like at the end of the date, like
Yeah,
I
to
just
see if
like
they have prejudice against couponing.
yeah, I mean I just throw it out. Like sometimes I forget and I'm like, oh, I should have used the coupon, but literally
Well,
like
last week
go
I
ahead.
hear the best dating advice ever.
the coupon tip. I'm telling you, this
Well,
coupon thing is
I
gold.
I follow a radio show who do calls after the first date when somebody doesn't hear anything. They do checkup calls with the person that they dated, and there was a girl. And
This is like a show, or this is
she
like a
says-
radio show?
and it's a morning show that you can sign yourself up, and they call your date like, "Hey, why do you don't react anymore?" So there was a girl calling to that show and says, "Yeah, I was dating a guy, and he gave me a puppy, and now I don't hear anything anymore."
There
So
was a
they
guy,
called
he
up
gave me
that
a
guy.
puppy, and
And they called him that guy, and that guy was laughing his ass off. He says, "You know that I gave a puppy is logic, my friend has a dog store and I get a puppy for that girl, and you get a 100% success rate, and the day after he returns the dog back to that friend of him, and every time he goes on a date, he buys that girl's puppy, and yeah, that is his tactic. Go to the dog store, buy that girl a puppy.
Okay, see, already,
It works.
just a callback last time
works
we
every
talked,
time.
guys. This guy that Dutch Buddha is talking about is a total douche.
It is, but
what kind of guy-
he tends to buy a puppy for that girl, and
That's
when
the
he
thing.
say goodbye to that girl, he returns the dog.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the dog. This dog's just like getting passed around. What is all that banging in the background?
Oh,
Somebody
well,
get,
I'm at work.
the police called
at
on
work.
him or something like that?
Yeah, I'm at work. I work in construction.
Really? Shouldn't you be like paying attention to like what you're hammering?
No,
he's
no,
laboring, and he builds scaffolding mostly.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
But today
It's
I
like,
have
yeah,
to
second nature to
walk.
him.
Today
and
I
he
have
has
to
wireless
walk
headphones.
blocks downstairs. So I have a lazy day today. But anyway, yeah, he doesn't care about the puppies, but he got a one-on-one with his friends that he can take a puppy anytime and return it the next day.
Yeah, and then the fact that like the pet store owner is like okay with it. Yeah, just take that puppy
Yeah.
on loan. If it doesn't ever come back, I don't really. This is the world. This is the like evil that has slowly snowballed into this giant freaking force of dark
hold on.
energy.
In what way is that evil though? Because like if a woman wants to treat a guy like a pet, why not just get her a pet?
Okay, the ultimate goal in both of these like tests, or all of these tests that we've presented, is to like kind of flesh out like the type of woman that we're like on a date with, right? Except for Dutch Buddha's
Well-
example of this guy who just uses this little trick to pick up women, right? Anytime he like wants to meet a girl, it sounds like he'll just go to
Okay,
his
so
buddy's
what-
pet
so-
store and be
so
like,
what-
"Hey, I need
so
a puppy."
What guy, Chaplin, name me one man, like name me a man who doesn't use any tricks to pick up women.
Like sleazy tricks like that, like the
No,
Have
no,
you-
no. You're
To pick up women?
differentiating
To-
tricks
to
from
pick up
sleazy
women?
tricks. So
To-
right now you're already trying to parse the truth, where the whole truth might be ugly. Just like women wear makeup. Is that a trick? Is that a
Well-
sleazy trick that women wear makeup?
Well, you know why women wear makeup and perfume? Because they smell bad and they're ugly. It's, like that was one of the things that I found on this I Am Come.
Name me a man who hasn't used a trick to pick up a woman.
I am that man, Tim. I can 100% say I have not used some dirty manipulative trick to pick up a woman,
It has
any
nothing
woman.
to do with dirty or manipulative tricks. I just mean tricks in general. Period. That includes pleasant tricks, pleasant surprises, pleasantries. No.
Okay. Well, then I would argue that I have my own like recipe, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So if a woman wants to treat a man like a pet, wouldn't it be better to preserve the freedom of that man by just giving her a pet?
Yeah, but
And
how
then she
would
has-
how would this man know that that's how this woman is treated? Like he already
You
brought
can
like
feel
this
it.
pet.
You can feel the approach. It's like beaver tooth underneath the table, like how women communicate through like telepathy.
Did you just call it beaver tooth?
Yes.
Is that
Well, I can
What I-
explain to you like that guy that do it like that. He has a Tinder date, and he meets at a coffee house close by the pet store. Then they walk after the coffee to his home, and he says, "Oh, look, a cute puppy!" And every girl melts for a puppy. So he said, "Let's take that puppy home." And they have the day of their life. She goes home, and he brings the puppy home, and he searches for the next date. It's a tactic. But we all have certain tactics. We always show the best side of ourselves, and we present us better than we are. That is what dating is.
Well, see, I had a little Yorkie that was like the cutest little like thing I've ever like, and that was like just, it was like not even fair. I would just go out in public enjoying my day with her, and like people would just run up and be like, "Oh my God, this is like the cutest little dog. Like, what's her name?" Like, so would that be considered a trick? I would say, I mean, like this is that conundrum I find myself in, where it's just like, I didn't mean it to be a trick, but people like, it's just like, oh man, you just like come in with this like cute little dog. Look at this, like I felt like this is like what some people were like saying about me who like disliked what they were.
Yeah, but being beautiful as a man is also not a trick, but it helps you to get a girl. So also not purposeful things can be tricks,
I mean, it's all about confidence, guys. I mean, like that's the thing. When I like look at like young men like turning to like dating coaches like on YouTube for like advice, or you hear like guys on, like the alpha male like type who just like talks about like, yeah, women just like, they they just want to be like told that they're like beautiful, and like it's just like this like playbook, like that. And that's the sad part, is that like many women find themselves susceptible to these little tactics that unfortunately, like there are specific men who have like made this their note to fame. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of the dating black book. Like it's just how to the pickup artist, like these terms, like they come from somewhere, and it's from these like alpha male types who just like, yeah, like they just do these things, and then they teach them to like the beta males who like will pay them for advice.
How are you?
And then these beta males think that they become the alpha males, and it just keeps spreading
so you
this information.
Hold on, Charlie, for a second, Charlie. Do you feel that there's no beta male dating coaches? Do you feel that there's no beta male pickup artists, as you call them?
Well, technically, a beta male wouldn't be a pickup artist. All the beta males coaches are the alpha males, the ones who like identify and portray themselves as the alpha male type. Personally, I identify as a sigma male.
For alpha males.
Well, we've all like been, I'm 40 something, so I was raised like, yeah, women want the alpha male, like the leader of the pack, not like the little beta. Even in nature, like it's the alpha male who.
All right, so I'm looking at history, like here we go. We have 3,120 years ago.
3,120 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. On the edge of this, on this edge of this
black hole coming back at us.
Okay.
And I'm looking there, 3,120 years ago. And I'm seeing beta males getting laid, buddy.
Yeah,
Like big time.
I'm not saying
In
it
fact,
doesn't
sometimes
happen.
more frequently than the alpha male, because the alpha male is busy hunting and collecting, like hunting and gathering.
Yeah.
Energy reader, do you feel that is a truth?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like I know that girls rule, boys drool. Why do boys drool? Well, I fucking love inventing shit.
Yeah.
Why do girls rule? Because I made a remote control that can literally control me and any other human, and I gave it to my goddess because I hold no malice towards her.
What? So okay, wait. So your claim before, you were saying, you looking back 3,100 and some odd years ago at the edge of this black hole, right?
Black hole.
Okay, right. And you observe betas mating just as much as alpha males, is what you're stating, right?
Yeah, if not
If
more.
not more. Okay.
Because that the alpha is busy out hunting and gathering, being successful.
But
at
Chaplin,
that.
Yes.
you say alpha male, and instantly I see a guy with a big chest, hunking on his chest, screaming he is the strongest. But if you consider that an alpha male, you're dead wrong. Because a real man
Hey, Odile, how are you?
is able to fight a war and a battle, but also kind enough to care for a baby. And the best thing is he can do it both at the same time because he's completely in self-control. And the guys that we consider alpha these days are nothing more than little boys with a big mouth.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey,
I
Odile.
agree. I agree with that. So what would
Yeah.
you say is the more accurate term for that type of dynamic male that you just described? Somebody who
Boys.
can fight but is
My-
gentle enough to
My-
nurse a young baby,
Yeah.
you know, like
My alpha male is not a guy that is banging his chest.
your idea of being an alpha male is not banging his chest, right?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, so then what is your idea of not being a beta male?
Well, what I say, a beta male lacks confidence and is not able to care for himself. That's okay to be a beta male. Those have to be
Dutch,
there too.
Are you
But
arguing that being a beta male would be that maybe a beta male would be banging their chest more often than an alpha male?
I think the guys that are beta banging their chest to pretend they are alpha.
Yeah, they pretend.
But some of them aren't pretending. Like the a classic name, I don't know if I can say the name, but Tate, Andrew Tate. You know, like I just think of that guy as the epitome of the alpha male billionaire hustle mindset. You know, like the type of person who is just out to beat their chest and show like how much dominant they are than everybody else, and just you can even hear it in the way that they talk, you know, like
Yeah, but he only do that to hide his insecurities, because a real man doesn't have to prove himself that much because they see he's a leader. He doesn't
Right.
have to prove he's a leader.
so
Yeah.
psychology has taught us that, right? Like, yeah, it's almost like little man syndrome, you know, like Napoleon, just be like, you know, I'm emperor, you know, like there are psychological like terms that have been coined for these types of people. But Andrew Tate is a specific, unique case that I have found because this is a man who like has this following of like young men who look up to this guy like that's how men think, even women like that's how men think, that's masculinity, that's what women want, right? And so when like beta males, especially young men who aren't even beta or alpha, they're just young men who just don't have experience just like interacting with, you know, the opposite, or let alone just like somebody of even the same sex, you know, like it's like the sense of confidence. So I
It
threw
all
out the term
sounds nice.
sigma male. Have you ever heard the term sigma male? Now,
No, but about Andrew Tate, it sounds all nice and pretty and confident.
but it
But
doesn't.
on the end
It
of
doesn't
the
sound
day-
nice and
but
pretty
on-
at all. He
No, but on the
reveals
end of the
exactly
day-
who he is. He's exactly true.
On the end of the
And-
day, you want somebody to cuddle on the couch, and not only one that is shouting out loud how terrible the world is. What I say, everybody can do what he does, but I miss a kind of compassion side on him. He's only screaming and being loud, and that doesn't make you a man.
But why is he screaming out and being so loud, like especially recently? It's because he's been exposed of all the darkness and like evil that he and his brother and their mindset has darkened the world today. And what I'm trying to say is that he has a business plan where his pitch is that me and my brother go around and we, you know, catfish these young girls, you know, like who are of legal age, and we convince them into falling in love with us, and we just like get them everything they want, and we just treat them like property. and we just do that. Each of us has 5 girlfriends, and my business plan
Yeah.
is to teach you how to become the guy who has 5 girlfriends under him. And it's just like, really? This is the
And-
evil this man and his brother have, like so innocently and like openly said, this is our business plan. We think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I
and there are
understand
people
what you
who
say,
like
but
listen
it
to
is
that and they're just
toxic.
like, that is like brilliant. And you see these people who, I have a guy
Yeah.
I follow on TikTok who says, I was arrested for, setting up 3 adult sites. And I was just like, what? And we're talking about, we hear about human trafficking. When you start hearing these like evils in the world and you start like following the dominoes back, you find the one domino that is like responsible for introducing that idea to the world. And
Yes,
you watch
and
how that
to rep-
idea
and to-
turns into like a blaze across like a bunch
and
of
to pretend
trees.
and to pretend that is the guy that we have to follow is like so destructive for society. I've been to dark things too, but I still am a kind guy, not misusing people and profit of them. Like that's a life choice. And that what I say, Andrew Tate is really bad for society and bad for the men that are growing up. And it is everything but a good example. His thing.
So, see, I don't want to label him as bad, but I just think that he is like the epitome of what at least my father and like his older generations, our fathers, have been programmed and taught and told this is what a man is in society. They don't have feelings. They don't express their feelings, right? They do what they have to do. They don't cry. Programmed and taught and told this is what a man is in society. They don't have feelings. They don't express their feelings, right? They do what they have to do.
I think something got muted. Oh shit, no, I can't hear you. Is it me? Oh, there we go.
That's what was going on. I even made an announcement there. Keep in mind that I prefer having one box open, at least so that anybody that's coming through knows that they can come up onto the panel if they will. I also drop people randomly, as you can just tell. This is a very random thing. I balance. This is based on my belief that God is nothingness itself, and that at the edge of everythingness, which is like the multiverse, is pure maximum entropy, complete randomness. But also randomness is tantamount to information. Hence, the reason why it's able to do this green screen here is that it takes all the pixels that aren't moving and it turns it into a pattern, and it can compress that and send, full send. But what's left over is complete randomness or something that is human shaped. Anyways, I'm a huge fan of randomness that is non-harmful, and I'm a huge fan of nothingness, which I know is absolute peace, and there's nothing to be afraid of.
And I'm still fan of your life goal, and I still hope we're gonna achieve it. Come on, people, we got 2 hours to do it.
Yes, thank you.
If he
Thank
makes
you for
that,
being a fan of my live goal.
if he makes that live goal, he's not coming back on TikTok after he's done.
I would though. I would, because I would give it all away.
That would be nice of
$20.
you.
Yeah, $20 at a time, just to ask, what is it that you truly want from life? So let's go through that. I don't have $20 to give you, but we'll imagine that I've given you $20 in exchange for this information, and know that it is likely that the truest answer might get filtered. So be free and tell me that forgotten thing that you truly want. So we'll start with Dutch Buddha. Dutch Buddha is, what is it that you truly want? Really? Even if it's imaginary.
I got 2 things, and one is not for myself, and that is no more suffering for the entire world. That we get the enlightenment of let live and make each other have never nothing to suffer anymore.
All right. Well, what if somebody wants to suffer though? Shouldn't they
Then
be
it's a
free to-
choice, and then it's not suffering.
All right. Cool. All right. Cool.
And the personal one is recognition for the beauty of the person that I am.
Well, let me see if I can provide at least one of those things. Dutch Buddha, I've created the hailing service of bad deeds. I mean, the hailing service of good deeds. Yeah. Where everybody is truly free as free can be. And this maximizes freedom and privacy. And it is non-harmful in any way. And we don't ask for any money. All we ask is that you go out in your area and you do random good deeds that you know is not going to put somebody in a worse situation or is going to be offensive to them or patronizing. That you are simply doing an act of kindness for the sake of doing kindness. And then get random and smash a cup and then sweep it up. You know, just to increase entropy in the universe.
Sometimes I fantasize that you are known by the world, and then when you speak your voice like you do, Res, like you have a lot to say. What if the whole world knew you, and you could reach the whole world with your life? You know, that would be a wonderful thing.
Imagine that I smashed my vinegar bottle. Just because
No,
this
I don't.
time space doesn't allow this. And I've made it allowed through storytelling. So we can imagine clearly that Rez grabbed the vinegar bottle and smashed it and then screamed, "Freedom is truly as free can be." And then swept it up and then put it all in the garbage without harming anybody or himself.
But yeah, that is a live wish, and I wish that also for you, like people like you and I, that we are famous and that everybody would listen to us, and we could change the world.
Oh my God, I would.
That is my second wish on myself, and then again,
Me
yeah,
too.
those are my two wishes.
2 wishes, yeah. I know. That we could change the world in love, not hate.
Well, that's never gonna fucking happen, so.
No, I know. That's what I know.
Well, whether you think you
That's
can or
right.
can't, you're probably right. So remember that.
That
Yeah, but if you
is
can
more
make
true than we remember. Let's go to Energy Reader now. For Energy Reader, what is it that you want from life, the universe, and everything? Whether it's real or imaginary, like whether it exists yet or not. What is it that you want
I want.
in the universe and everything?
There's one big wish I have, moving to Scotland. Yeah, but that's my goal. The other goal is like people who not there's no war. That's the first thing I always say. No war, no fear anymore. Fear gone. Fear has to be gone. It's stupid. It makes people stupid. It makes people sick. I don't like sickness, and I don't like fear. So like that's yeah. And
What
I
about
want
what about like a toy war, you know, with like a Nerf gun, like there was a
that's
grandmother
perfect.
sitting in her chair with like a Nerf blaster there,
Mhm.
like shooting like Nerf darts at her grandson, and the grandson's like, "Grandma, what do you got like a Nerf Gatling gun? Like what the heck? And you got all these bags full of bullets, like these bags full of Nerf darts? Like how are you gonna even use them all?" And she's like, "You can never be too prepared." You know, he's like, "But they're still in the bag."
My God, my brother
Yeah.
shot me in the eye with a Nerf gun one time.
Go ahead.
That shit hurt.
Yeah.
But
There has to be
O-
more laughter
Odile,
in the
but
world,
did
you
you
know?
die?
No, No, I didn't die, but it hurt.
All right. All right.
This is poor. No, I want a peaceful life. That's it. And I want it for everybody who is okay.
Well, I was one time stressed, so I pulled out a Nerf's gun.
And then, what did you do? And
I
know
shot
this
all
is
my
how
stress away.
Oh, I made a really cool like Nerf gun shot, you know, like across a room where my friend's kid had went right up to this styrofoam plate and shot the Nerf gun at it, and then it made it so it like was kind of like broken somewhat, you know. And then what I did was I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I take a shot?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." So I grabbed the Nerf gun and I right like across like, you know, maybe 20 feet, you know, 25 feet. It was like 2 rooms away. So I was at the back of like the kitchen, and then it was like at the end of their living room. You know, so this is like 25 feet. And I took this Nerf gun, I was like, pop. And then what happened was this Nerf dart hit the plate that had previously been, you know, fractured, and it broke the plate in half. And we were like, no way. You know, that was such a sweet shot. Like, I almost couldn't believe it myself.
But you have a great life
Nerf
goal
sniper.
here. You have so how many lions? Oh my God, you're a millionaire when you do that and you get it.
Billion, yeah. It would be 20.
Billionaire,
So
yes.
yeah, 41 billion dollars, and then TikTok would take half, you know, so it'd be around 20
Oh
billion.
yeah. Oh, they always take half. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love the goal. I seriously love it. Yeah.
And Odile, what is it that you want from life, the universe, and everything?
Superficially, I want to be on the beach with a margarita, but like in general, I want bigotry to end. I want affordable housing. I want to stop being fucking obliterated by the government. I want, you know, like, I just want a peaceful, nice life, and I don't want to have to pay for all of this bullshit anymore. I want to get married. I want to live on a farm.
Oh, girl.
I'm
I feel you
just,
there.
like, I'm tired. I'm tired of working my ass off and getting nowhere. I don't want any more student debt.
Exactly.
I don't want my brother to be harassed by the police anymore.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've had experiences.
Oh.
I just
Yeah,
want.
they just don't understand communication with me. I explained myself clearly, gave the direction so clearly, and they just didn't respond to me like they wanted to do a whole like job. And I'm like, no, I'm giving you the clear direction as the citizen of what I want you to do. Just peacefully stand there. Just peacefully stand there, officer. They're like, no, that's not our job.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I know it's your job.
Yeah. You have to do it. Yes.
Because I just defined what your job is just right now. You do realize that this original call was like for my pre-planned unlife, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I had
they
an officer
simply wouldn't.
in my apartment yelling at me, and I was just like, I called you.
Yeah,
But they didn't want to
it
go.
was them, and they're treating you like you're the problem.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
bizarre.
I called them for an assault charge, and they were talking to me like I was the criminal. Like, I don't. Fuck the police, okay? And I mean
All right,
that.
but only if they're consenting. All right, Charlie, Chaplain Charlie, what is it that you want from life, the universe, and everything?
My hope is to remind the world that fairness, justice, and freedom are more than words, they are perspectives. And words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, an enunciation of the truth. And the truth is that I'm echoing here.
Oh,
I'll
no,
just stop there.
he's in his vehicle, I think. Yeah, sorry.
Me? I am not in my vehicle.
Oh, no. It was just volume was up somewhere.
I echo,
My
yes.
bad. But yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, I hope that we just are made aware to be more mindful of our thoughts and how we express our thoughts as the words that we use, and our self, critiquing about the effects that like our words have on the universe around us, if that makes sense. The planets orbiting directly around us, if I'm going to talk on a little broad scale. But yeah, I mean, everybody, Energy Reader, I remember she said her goal is to move to Scotland. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why Scotland, if I may ask?
Past lives. I love it there. I don't know why. I had past lives there. I was so happy over there. And not happy also, but when I see Scotland, I'm like, I'm at home. I'm home. This is my home.
Is this a Scottish accent that I'm
Charlie
hearing?
Chaplin, where
No,
Chaplin
it's not a
Charlie, we're
Scottish
gonna
accent.
take a
What you
break
hearing?
from this back and forth for a second,
Okay,
because we
my
still
bad,
have
my
other
bad.
people in the panel. If you could just be aware that I'm the moderator. I'm not only the host, I'm the moderator as well.
Heard.
Tutski, what is something that you want? Like, what is it that you, not something, but what is it that you want from life, the universe, and everything, whether it currently exists, whether it's real or imaginary? What is it that you want from life, the universe, and everything?
Yeah, I want to make an impact and the means to do so. I mean, it's as simple as that. I just want to be able to make a difference in my community, the world, somewhere.
Short and simple.
Little bit like what I said. Like, yeah, I can imagine that is very powerful to wish.
Yeah.
Thank you for that brief comment, Dutch, and then muting yourself. That was very respectable for the shared time. All right, well, Tutski, we're going to go back up the panel here. Just Tutski, what's one thing you're grateful for today?
My family.
Charlie, or Chaplain Charlie, what's one thing you're grateful for today?
I'll tell you, I'm grateful for the walls around me right now, because my house is my heater is out of in my house, and so I'm just like freezing yet not freezing. So I'm just grateful that I actually have like a home that's keeping me a lot warmer than I could be if I was homeless.
Well, if you do have access to that black book, playbook, or whatever the thing you're talking about the pickup artist or whatever, you could maybe get another person in there with you to keep you warm. All right, Odile.
Hey,
what is one thing you're grateful for today, Odile?
I'm grateful for a lot of things, but I would also say my family, and that I have a roof over my head, but I just got served an eviction notice, so, who knows what the hell's gonna do with happen with that. But my family.
Understood. As much as I can understand. I understand.
I mean, my family's fucked up, but they're fucked up, but at least I have them.
And Energy Reader, what is one thing you're thankful for today?
That I'm happy with myself. And healthy. I love every single day. Even if it's a bad one. I still love it.
Yeah, I often say that even the concept of heaven interrupts my peace with God, which I call nothingness, you
Yeah,
know?
me too.
And that even hell, it would be a blessing to me, for any
Yeah.
form of existence is a blessing.
Yes, that's what I mean.
All right,
Listen,
Dutch Buddha.
if we all go to hell, then it's gonna be a party.
Yeah.
Yo, Odile, if I'm there and you're there, we gotta stay away from each other. We'll just have too good of a time. Like, they're gonna be like, no, you gotta go to heaven. I'm gonna be like, nah, man, they don't got enough chairs up there.
No, we're gonna take some tequila shots, okay?
Fine.
Oh gosh.
We're gonna take some
But
tequila
only if
shots
it's against
and
my
slow
consent.
party.
You know, because we're in hell after all, right?
Who cares? I don't give a fuck.
All right, Dutch Buddha.
Well, my thankfulness goes out to even that I'm very lonely in real life and I never see people. I'm thankful that I can share my days with loving people like you guys.
That's nice.
And he means that. I know him.
May I have permission to
Right,
speak
Charlie?
of my truth? So, I mean, as a chaplain, just meeting all you guys, it's just the chaplain side of me. When I like listen to Energy Reader, Tutski, Odile, like I'm listening to like your guys' like prayers, your wishes here, and like I don't know, I don't want to steamroll, Rez's chat here, but there's a lot of things that I think that it's important. Like we just don't like just skip over these things. I mean, like Odile like said a lot, just talking about her brother, like her eviction notice, like. So I don't know. I'm just saying I'm a chaplain. So hey, Odile, like maybe we were brought together through Tim for a reason. Like I feel like these are issues that the people who come to me like share with me, and like I don't want you to like leave this conversation feeling those kinds of fears, as you guys like said. Like I don't want any fear anymore. Like just peace. Does that make sense? Tuski, you said you want to make an impact and change. Like these are all great things, like when we say them, because this is like what we're thinking. But the next thing in after like we put our thoughts into words is our words become actions. So like my question for all of you guys in this panel is just like, what is your first step into stepping into this reality that you wish for? Does that make sense? Like Tuski, like what is one change or impact that you would like to start with? Odile, like the eviction note, like what would you like to take off your plate on that like list of stuff that you could do without? Energy Reader, you said you wanted to go to Scotland. I was getting a base on that. It's just like, these are the moments, Rez, that, like I enjoy this tool of doing live interactions with people all across the world that we've never met and stuff like that. So I just hope, I'm not trying to be dominant or anything like that, or an alpha male or anything like that, but I want to,
No, you're fine.
I'd like to keep us focused on like,
I think we do what we can. Like, for example, Energy Reader is giving readings to people in chat, and that helps people. And the rest is also creating lives where we can talk about these subjects. And I put myself out there into lives and talk with people to reflect on life, and then the viewers they can learn of us. So I think we all do our part.
Yeah.
But it would be awesome if we had like a 6 million fan base of people that really followed us. But it seems like only drama is the best entertainment with 6 million followers. And when you praise for being a good person, you don't get that popular. But still, we try to do our parts.
and that's almost like the tempting of like the fruit, you know, like this is where we have to make a choice as, you know, like conscious human beings. Like, do we want to sacrifice ourselves to reach that 600 million follower mark, or do we stick to our true self and just say, I don't care if it's us five in here or just me, you know, like I'm going to be true to myself. I know what I believe is good and right. I'm going to stick to what I bet. And, you know, if somebody tries to tell me I'm wrong, then I'm going to listen to them and I'm going to find out why they think I'm wrong or what they think is right. And I will, you know, audible my perception at those moments, you know, but
Buddha has there a nice quote over, like if you have something to give, then automatically that means that there is somebody else to receive it. And if somebody is not able to receive your message, then it's not meant for that person. So you have to search which person will fit your message. But it comes to the conclusion, as soon as you have something to offer or to give, that automatically means that there is somebody that need to receive it.
that's a good point. I agree with that. And I would relate that to like all the people, you know, in, you know, my country, America, who are like really standing up for their Christian values, you know, and stuff like this. And, you know, like it's just, we're in a current time when we're really being pressed to pick an identity. And like everybody thinks like it's got to be this
Brandon,
binary decision. It's got to be
called
male or
language.
female.
That is the unit of measurement.
I mean, personally, like I do everything that I can to stand up for other people. I'm a social worker, right? So my entire profession is dedicated to helping other people. It's not about me, it's about other people.
That's great. You know, like social work is something I'm very like fond of. I love meeting people who do social work, especially in today's times, like post, you know, COVID, you know, like social work is a lot harder than I believe like it was before, you know, like, but
Extremely difficult, and I work with people who have like fucked up issues, right? And it's
right.
really difficult. And it fucks up my mental health. But the point is that I'm trying to help other people.
And then I feel that, you know, like there's got to be some frustration that you feel when it's just like, who helps the person who helps everybody else, right? Like,
Oh, nobody helps me.
right. I mean, like that's like, that's like the, I don't know. I don't want to call it like a catch 22, but that's like the downfall of just like trying to be a good person doing good for other people. Is just like nobody cares about you when you need that kindness returned. You know, like, does that
I
make
mean,
sense?
yeah, it does make sense. I mean, like, I have my family, I have my boyfriend, but it's very hard, and I'm burnt out.
From the boyfriend and the family and the job,
No, just from my job.
just from the job.
Now you hit an essential thing. Like you can help people and you can keep helping people, but if you burn out, you are not able anymore.
Yes,
So
that's true.
self-care is so important. You can give everything of yourself away, but that is not the solution either.
No, I
You
know
have to
that.
balance it,
I know, because
you
you
know?
can't pour from an empty cup, right? So I need to like
It.
make sure that I'm okay.
Can
And
you
I'm
say that
trying
one more
to.
time about the empty cup? Can you go back to that? I missed that.
You
You
can't pour from an empty cup.
you can't pour from an empty cup. Great. That's true. Okay.
Like you can't help other people if you're not good, right? So it's just hard because like being a social worker is so difficult sometimes. Um, like I want to help other people, but I need to make sure that I'm okay. But the people that you work with sometimes, it's so difficult. It's so hard. So you need to